Okay, we are continuing. The last time we met, and that was yesterday, we spoke about alcohols. Do you remember? Yes. So now I want us to talk about the characteristics of alcohol. Remember that whenever we talk about a particular homologous series, we talk about their characteristics. And these characteristics, you must not despise them, because you'll be asked. This topic of organic chemistry, sometimes they give you questions in the form of experiments, and they expect you to know the answers. And some of these answers, they will be based on the general characteristics of a particular homologous series. Hello? Okay. So now, let's talk about these things. Alcohol. Alcohol. Characteristics. Yeah? Characteristics. What are the characteristics of this alcohol? The most outstanding one is that they are highly flammable. The alcohols, they are highly flammable. Do you know what it means to be highly flammable? To be highly flammable, it means they have no boiling point. What does it mean? They have low boiling point. If something has got low boiling point, it means it has got the what? High vapor pressure. Yeah, last year I used to tell you that we learned about this thing. Do you remember we spoke about boiling point, vapor pressure? Do you remember? Yes. So they are highly flammable. What does it mean? It means it's like petrol. Do you know petrol? Petrol, even if the flame of fire is far away from it, it can start to burn. Do you know that? Petrol is highly flammable. It's highly flammable, guys. That if you put just a flame of fire, just for the petrol to receive some warmness, it starts to burn because it is highly flammable. So even alcohols, they are highly flammable. It's easy for them to reach their boiling point and start to burn. You understand? Okay, let me give you an example. You know that the boiling point of water is what? 100 degrees Celsius, right? So if it's 100 degrees Celsius, what does that mean? It means that if you can put fire and you put water in a beaker, you want water to boil. It will take time, right? It will take time for water to reach its boiling point. It will take time. Even if the fire is very hot, but it will take time. But look at this thing. Alcohol. You put alcohol in the beaker. We have alcohol in the lab. We're going to do experiment. Next, I will show you. So now I'm still speaking theoretically. We're going to go to the lab. I show you that indeed alcohols are highly flammable. So now, you take alcohol, you pour on a beaker, you put at the top of the Bunsen burner, while there's a tripod. You know a tripod, right? Yes. Tripod, we call it driftwood, most of us, but we call it tripod in English. And you must know it. You know the Bunsen burner, right? That thing which is in the lab, which have got a rod like this. There's a fire that comes out from the Bunsen burner, right? Then you put a tripod, you put a gas mat at the top of a tripod. A gas mat is like, it's safe for living at the top of a tripod. You understand? Yes. Then the aim of the gas mat is so that the beaker does not fall, right? Also to cause the fire from the Bunsen burner to spread, right? So, what is going to happen? Immediately you start boiling the alcohol, you'll find that there is nothing. There's nothing inside the beaker. It won't take even a minute. It won't take even what? A minute. You'll find that there is what? There's nothing inside the beaker. Because that thing has reached its boiling point and it did what? It evaporated immediately. Remember when water reached its boiling point, what happens? It evaporates. Am I wrong? When water reaches its boiling point, it just evaporates. So immediately you put an alcohol, you put inside the beaker, and there's a fire. Suddenly there will be nothing inside the beaker because alcohols are what? Highly flammable. They are highly flammable. You need to take note of that. It is very important. It's a very important characteristic of alcohols. They are what? Highly flammable. So because they are highly flammable, you know what they do? You know what they do? They take, it means our lesson, since now it's morning studies, our lesson will have it in the lab. We'll have our lesson in the lab so that I show you some of the things. Look, this is what they do. Whenever they want to boil whenever they want to experiment with alcohol, you know what they do? They just put the alcohol inside the test tube, right? Then they take a beaker, they put water inside the beaker, then they put the test tube inside the beaker which contains water. Then they lit the Bunsen burner. So the test tube which is containing alcohol will not be burnt directly by the fire. It will be burnt by water as it changes its temperature, right? That is the best possible way to study the alcohols. Because if ever you can put that alcohol closer to the fire, what will happen? It will evaporate fast, right? It can even cause a flame. It's like taking paraffin and you put inside the fire. Are you going to be able to see the paraffin? It will immediately burn, it will immediately evaporate because it is highly flammable, right? So the best way is to burn the what? Is to burn the test tube which contains the alcohol using water. You put the beaker, you put water inside the beaker, then you put what? The test tube. You understand? Yeah. So that when you study it, it won't evaporate fast, since water will do what? Will increase its temperature slowly, right? It means the temperature will start maybe from, you find that the water is at 5 degrees Celsius, normal, right? Then as the temperature increases, it goes to 10, it goes to 11, right? We don't know at what temperature will the alcohol evaporate. Then you'll be able to study and know. But if you can put a fire, remember a fire, it is at maybe 100 degrees Celsius or 200 degrees Celsius, the fire of the gas, of the Bunsen burner, right? So you are avoiding for that alcohol to evaporate quickly like that. Because alcohols, they are what? They are highly flammable. You see what I'm telling you? Very important. It is examinable. They will ask you in the exam. These alcohols, they are what? They are highly flammable. The alcohols, they are highly flammable. So they will ask you a question that, why is it that when they are working with the alcohols in the lab, why are they putting a test tube inside a beaker which contains water? Can you be able to tell me that? Why? But I just told you now that why are they putting a test tube inside water while they are burning the beaker? Why are they doing that? Because you don't say a lot of things, because alcohol is highly flammable. Don't say a lot of things. Because alcohol is highly flammable, you can't put it next to the fire directly, because if you put it next to the fire directly, what will happen? It will evaporate immediately. So when they're dealing with alcohol, they put alcohol inside the test tubes. Then they do what? They put the test tube inside the beaker which contains water. Then they burn the water. Why are they doing that? Because alcohol is highly flammable. If they can burn alcohol directly, it will evaporate immediately. It can even cause fire. It's like when you put petrol inside the pan. There's going to be a flame of fire. Do you agree? I know you once baked these things, eggs. Have you ever done that? And I know Benzan have once left a fry pan with oil inside for a long time until a flame came out. She almost burned the house. It won't happen, right? Because if that oil reached boiling point, what will happen? It is going to cause a flame of fire, right? So, Futek is better because oil will take time, right? To reach its boiling point. You know alcohol, it reaches it immediately. Alcohol will reach its boiling point immediately. It is highly flammable. I will demonstrate it to you. We'll go to the lab. I'll demonstrate it to you that it is highly flammable indeed. Alcohols are what? Highly flammable. So when they work with them, they will put alcohol inside the test tube, then they put what? Inside the water, in the beaker. Ne? Why are they doing that? Because alcohol is highly flammable. Don't say a lot of things. Because alcohol is highly flammable. You understand, right? Okay, as I was telling you that alcohols, they are what? Highly flammable, low boiling point, high vapor pressure. Remember that vapor pressure is inversely proportional to what? To boiling point. When boiling point is low, vapor pressure is what? Is high. Remember, vapor pressure is the presence of what? Of vapor, right? And we get to have a high amount of vapor if the boiling point is what? Is low. Isn't it? If the boiling point is low, a liquid is going to change to what? To a gas fast, right? And when a liquid changes to a gas, what will be formed? Vapor, right? So it means we're going to have a lot of vapor. That's why I'm saying vapor pressure is inversely proportional to boiling point. When the boiling point is high, are we going to have a lot of vapor? We're going to have less amount of vapor, right? Yeah. Okay, interesting. Okay, so now I just want us to continue with the nomenclature of what? Of alcohols. But after alcohols, I want us to talk about what? Aldehydes. I want us to talk about the aldehydes. So let me just give you this one. Yeah. We can't talk about the aldehydes now. We can't talk about the aldehydes now. We need to talk about what do we call this? The primary, secondary, and tertiary alcohols. We have already spoken about them. It's just that I have not told you that this one is a primary alcohol because of this and this and that. But already we have drawn them. Okay, let us give the name of this one. Can you be able to give the name of this one? Okay. How do we do it? We count the longest carbon chain. We start here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 4, right? Yeah. Okay, it's fine. But remember, don't start from one place. We try different ways to see where are we going to get the longest carbon chain. The longest series of carbon. Series of carbon is carbons which are in the form of a series. Series and ulandelelana. 1, 2, 3, shalandelelana. So 1, 2, 3, 4, shalandelelana. So you understand what the series is? So we have 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it means we can start from this one, or we start from this one, right? We can start from this one going that way, or we start here, we go this way. You understand? How many carbon? What is the what? How many carbon does the longest carbon skeleton have? 4. It has got 4. Can you see that? Yeah. we can choose this one as the longest carbon skeleton, or we can choose this one. Right? We are not allowed to go back. We just move forward and we create the series. So therefore, what do we call 4 carbon? It's built, right? So meaning that this one is built. And I said we add what? AN, right? From now we'll add AN, all of them that we are going to do. Because they are not hydrocarbons, right? So this one we need to indicate the position of the OH. We need to indicate the position of the what? Where is it? Carbon number? Carbon number 1. It means this one is butan 1 all. But it has got a branch. Do you see that? Yes. Do you see that? Yes. You can see, right? So, how are we going to name this one? It means we need to indicate where is the branch. We need to indicate what? We need to indicate where the branch is. So how do we do that? We have already called this one carbon number 1 because we have given preference to the functional group. We must always give preference to the what? We must always give preference to the functional group. We must always give preference to the functional group. So it means this one is going to be butan 1 all. We've already called this carbon number 1. We've already called it carbon number 1. It means we need to, this one where the branch is, it is bound to become carbon number, yeah? This one is carbon number 1. 3, because we're starting from this side. Isn't it we said this one is carbon number 1 already? We have given preference to the high functional group. So if this one is carbon number 3, this one is bound to carbon number 3, right? We can't say this is carbon number 2 because we started coming from this side. No, we have given preference to the what? The functional group. Isn't it we said 1 all? You see? So this one is bound to be carbon number 3. So it means it will become 3. How many carbon of the ethyl group? How many? To the branch, how many carbon? 1. So we're going to have 3 methyl butan 1 all. 3 methyl butan 1 all. As I was telling you, we need to give preference to the what? To the functional group. But some books, they give preference to the branch. You understand? But let us keep preference to the functional group. Okay. Did you understand now the alcohols? Okay. You understood the nomenclature of alcohols. Okay, I want us to talk about the types of alcohols. Types of alcohols. And we know you, what you're thinking about savannah. Answer. What? Fly fish. What? Hunter's dry. Castle. Lion. And whatever. And that's not what I want to talk about. When I say type of alcohol, you are thinking about type of beverage. I know you. Okay. What we have, what we call primary alcohol. Hey, my babies, this is very important. Eh? You need to know all of this. You need to know all of this. We've got what we call primary alcohol. Why is it called primary alcohol? Here. In primary alcohol, OH is bonded to the carbon which is bonded to one other carbon. Primary alcohol, OH is bonded to a carbon which is bonded to how many carbons? 1. Here is a primary alcohol. This definition, you must know it is not necessarily a definition. It's just the matter of observing, and you just state what you are observing. Primary alcohol, OH. Do you see the OH here? Do you see OH? OH functional group, hydroxyl, is bonded to what? Is bonded to a carbon, which is bonded to how many carbons? OH is bonded to what? OH is bonded to, it's not bonded to one carbon. OH is bonded to one carbon, and that carbon is bonded to one carbon. OH is bonded to this carbon. How many carbons are bonded to this carbon? One carbon. So it means it's a what? Primary alcohol. Primary alcohol. What does primary alcohol mean? OH is bonded to a carbon, and that carbon is bonded to how many? Okay, I know you'll understand this in this way. It's like when someone is dating someone who is already someone's person, but that person is dating how many? One. You understand? That person is dating how many? So you go and date someone who is already dating how many people? One. That is primary alcohol. You go and date someone who is dating one person, right? But it does not end there. You know that you can go and date someone who is already dating two people, and you become the third. You know it happens. Yes, that will be secondary alcohol. Primary alcohol, what is happening? You are dating someone who is already dating someone else. You understand? The things that you do. You understand, Mus? If there's someone who is already dating someone, I know you will understand this one better. Primary alcohol, OH is bonded to a carbon which is bonded to one carbon. The word one is very important. OH is bonded to a carbon which is bonded to one carbon. Nibo is dating someone who is already dating one person. You understand, right? That is what is happening. Okay, so now we have got what we call secondary alcohols. Secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol. What do we call, how do we define this one? How do we explain a secondary alcohol? Secondary alcohol, OH. OH is bonded to a carbon. OH is bonded to a carbon that is bonded to two other carbons. OH is bonded to carbon which is bonded to what? To two other carbons. What do we call that? Secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol is what's happening with secondary alcohol? OH is bonded to a carbon which is bonded to what? Two other carbons. Can you see that? Can you see that? Look at OH. Can you see OH? Can you see OH? It's bonded to which carbon? It's bonded to this carbon. OH is bonded to this carbon. But this carbon is bonded to how many carbon? Two carbon. It is bonded to two carbon. So what does that mean? it means that this one is a secondary alcohol. Why do we say this one is a secondary alcohol? Because OH is bonded to a carbon that is bonded to two other carbon. It's like when you go and date someone, you find that that person already has got two people and you think you are alone. You find that already you are being played, you are being sharped. You find that the person already has got two. That's what is happening with what? With what? With the secondary alcohol. Secondary alcohol, someone saying secondary carbon. Secondary alcohol, we're talking about alcohols, right? Secondary alcohol, how do we know that is secondary alcohol? OH is bonded to carbon, which is bonded to carbon. You are dating a person who is dating two people. You understand? Yeah. That is secondary alcohol. Do you understand, Nico? You understand, right? Yes. You are dating a person who's already dating how many? And you can see that already. You can't handle three. You can't handle three. Okay. Is everything okay? Let's just talk about the last one. Let us just talk about the last one. We are going to talk about tertiary alcohol. We're going to talk about what? Tertiary alcohol. Tertiary alcohol. We're going to talk about tertiary alcohol. So now, we are continuing. We're continuing with what? Tertiary alcohols. How do we know that this one is a tertiary alcohols? Carbon, not carbon, OH. I remember some kids last year, they used to call OH alcohol. It is wrong, it's not alcohol, it's OH, it's hydroxyl. You can either call it hydroxyl group or you call it OH. Don't call it alcohol. It's just that it's a functional group which give alcohol their unique properties. Remember, a functional group is a what? A bond or a group of atoms that gives what? An organic compound its unique chemical and physical properties. Isn't it? Yes. We get to know that this one is an alcohol because of the presence of what? OH. You understand? Okay. OH is bonded to a carbon. To a carbon that is bonded to three other carbons. Can you see? Can you see how we get to define a tertiary alcohol? OH is bonded to a carbon that is bonded to how many carbons? 3. Just like this one. OH, just before you leave, since it's break time, just give me a chance. I used to understand it in a very wrong way. But if the examiner asked me what type of an alcohol, I could be able to give the answer, but the way I was explaining, Marcus could not mark me because it was wrong. So I won't tell you. I used to say, I don't have to say it. Because I know if I say something, you will understand it that way. It's fine. Let me not say it. OH is bonded to a carbon, which is bonded to how many carbon? Look at this one. OH is this one. It's bonded to this carbon. It's bonded to this carbon. This carbon is bonded to this carbon. It is also bonded to this carbon. It is also bonded to this carbon. So, in tertiary alcohols, OH is bonded to how many carbon? OH is bonded to a carbon that is bonded to what? 3 other carbon. This one in water, this one. You can see that this one in water, no ways. Can't have 3, come on. In water. You understand tertiary alcohol in water? It's like OH get to bonds what? To a carbon that is bonded to how many carbon? 3 of them. It's put that on the unknown. You understand this one, You understand this one, Okay. So we'll conclude here too, tertiary alcohols. When I come back, I teach you about ketone and aldehyde. Thanks. Oh, man, don't think I wrote song for 30 minutes. Yeah, cancer. Yeah, cancer. You were man, you don't want. One. What's our wrong? Take a bend. More for that. More take that move.